Hey guys, Corell Cooper here with On the Black, and I'm joined by Dave Doyle of Mets Report for our weekly chat. How you doing, Dave?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Little disappointing today. The team kind of imploded there in the seventh inning. I'm glad we got one. I'm glad we didn't get swept. So we're 2 games under 500. So I'm again a little disappointed with today. But how are you feeling about this series against the Yankees?
I am disappointed about today, I do feel like it was a game that they were right in until the bottom of the seventh, so you hate to lose it that late in the game. But I'm going to take a couple of positive things about this. I'm going to take the number one. R.A. Dickey was right back on track in that first game and looked like he had that 2010 magic back again, which was good.
Yep.
And a couple games under 500 is pretty much where we expected them to be, during the season. So I don't think that's outrageous or underperforming. So overall, I'd say I'm pretty satisfied with taking at least one game in New York.
Gotcha. And, I know you mentioned Dickey there, and you want to take that as a positive. I want to look at the flip side of this a little bit. And even though I think he got a couple hits today, Jason Bay, and I tweeted earlier today about Jason Bay might be on the way to taking Castillo and Perez's spot as the most hated guy on the Mets roster because of his contract and lack of production. I'm not ready to kind of totally say that he has to go or that he's terrible. I'm going to give him a little bit more time, but what are your thoughts on Bay thus far?
Oh, I agree. He's definitely, if you look back over the years at underperforming free agents that have come in, Luis Castillo, you could go back to George Foster in the 80s if you want to go back and think about these guys that it's hard to get behind these guys that are making big money. Jason Bay's making $16 million this year, so that's a lot of money. Every month the Mets are paying him. I think it's $2.5 million a month. And on my Facebook page, I wrote this week his slash line since he became a Met, and his average is 250 as a Met, and he's slugging 388. So he's just been an offensive disaster as a Met.
Right. And, especially right now with Wright out and with Davis out, the Mets have been playing overall pretty well, but that's due to their starting pitching. They've won a lot of games, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, stuff like that. The offense really hasn't been doing much lately. And with Wright and Davis out, this is the time where Bay really needs to kind of step up. And it is a little disappointing thus far that he hasn't done much. Flip side of that, what are your thoughts on Justin Turner? It just seems like he can't get this guy out, and he's in the middle. If there is someone that's getting a big hit on this team, it is him.
Oh man, he's been just Mr. Clutch. It's incredible, and I don't want to get too excited about it because it's a week.
Yeah.
But
one hell of a week though.
Oh man, geez, this guy. If there are people on base and there's 2 outs, I expect him to get a hit.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and it's fantastic for him, and I of course as a Mets fan, you hope he can keep it up because, it's really been amazing and it's great to see. It's nice to have something to get excited about as a Mets fan.
Right. Now, looking ahead. This week coming up, the Mets travel to Chicago, and then they return home to Philly. Again, they're 2 games under 500. I think as we make this video, I think they're maybe 5 games behind the Phillies. This could be, I don't want to get too crazy here, but this could be an important week for them. If they can go to Chicago, win a couple there, and come back home, and win a couple against the Phillies, they wouldn't be in bad shape. And, what are your thoughts about the week ahead?
I think that the Cubs are a team that you can beat, and I think that getting them even at home is a winnable series. You have to look at it that way, especially after you come off of playing the Yankees, because I think most people would say that's probably the Yankees are not a winnable series for the Mets usually.
Hmm.
So I think you have to look at the Cubs as a winnable series. And coming home against the Phillies, that's a little more questionable, but you would like to win that series and get yourself back into it. And, just based on when they get back home to play the Phillies, based on the number of empty seats we've been seeing at Citi Field recently, boy, I hope that place is not filled with Phillies fans late next week. I hate that.
Yeah. Well, and that's going to be interesting because obviously us Mets fans, we aren't filling the seats, and Phillies, they always travel well when they come up here, and they like beating us just as much as they like beating anyone, and they travel well, so.
They do. They do.
Maybe we can play really well against the Cubs. Hope for some good weather this weekend, and Mets fans buy some tickets.
Yeah. I'm thinking that this might be the weekend that I got to get out there because I just do not want to see that place in a sea of red and with Phillies chants going on there and the whole thing. We saw some of that last year there, and boy, it's really disappointing to see. And as a Mets fan, I guess we got to be accountable ourselves for that. So I think that I might have to get out there next weekend.
Alrighty. Well, hey Dave, thanks for taking a few minutes tonight to do this chat with me. And for those of you out there watching, you can check out Dave and I doing a weekly chat. You can also check us out on Ustream doing a live chat before and after select games. So speaking of the Phillies series, we might do a live chat on Ustream next weekend. So look out for that. But Dave, want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Alrighty.